Hello and welcome to the Serie A Talking Points with me, James Horncastle. If you haven't subscribed already yet, you can do so by clicking on the G. Coming up, we're going to wrap up all of the weekend's actions in Serie A. We're also going to look forward to the midweek round of fixtures in the league and also project to next weekend as well, because it's a big game coming up between Napoli and Roma. They were playing a team who are third and not by chance, with a defence as good as theirs on a terrible pitch, with some players out injured or suspended and others fatigued and out of form after a 7-1 defeat to Bayern as well, which understandably made Roma less sure of themselves. So with that in mind, perhaps a stalemate away to Sampdoria at the Luigi Ferraris is not a bad result, but still, it's one win in their last 5 for Roma. In that time, they have of course played the likes of City, Juventus and Bayern, so it's not really a poor record, but Roma really need to get back to being Roma, and soon. Juventus capitalised when Roma stumbled at this time last year, and they did so again at the weekend. They reopened their lead at the top of the table to 3 points after a 2-0 win against Palermo at the Juventus Stadium. It was their 23rd win in a row at home in the league. Arturo Vidal shushed the journalist who'd questioned his professionalism and his performances, while Fernando Llorente ended his near 700-minute wait for a league goal this season. The gentle giant has been a lot more selfless. It was this time a year ago that he entered into that state of grace when he scored 4 goals in 6 games, so he'll be looking to do the same from now on. Raf Benitez said his team doesn't have the will to win, nor the Katzimmer, that Neapolitan word for cunning to close out games after their defeat to Young Boys Bern in the Europa League on Thursday. He also said that Gonzalo Higuain has been like a lion in a cage. He'd yet to score in Serie A, but he found a way to escape behind bars on Sunday. He scored a hat-trick against Verona. Marek Hamsik also got his first 2 goals in the league this season, and Jose Callejon got his 7th. He's capocannoniere in the league, a little like his twin brother Juanmi in Bolivia. It looks like Napoli are turning around. It was their best performance of the season so far. Are they back? Well, they just might be. Roma should take care of business against Cesena at the Olimpico on Wednesday night, and they might even close the gap with Juventus, because they go to Genoa, which has been a tricky place for them in recent seasons, even though they haven't lost at Marassi for 5 years. Genoa coach Gianpiero Gasperini knows how to give his former club a hard time. Genoa actually in the top half of the table. They're unbeaten in 3 games, and he echoed one of Genoa's great coaches, Osvaldo Bagnoli, in criticising the fans for whistling the team after a draw with Empoli. The question is, will they be behind the team on Wednesday? Sant'Elia, Cagliari's historic ground, is fully open again, and it's a sellout, and why not? Because Cagliari are beginning to play like a Zenit Zeman team should. They put 4 past Inter, they put another 4 past Empoli at the weekend, and on Wednesday they play Pippo Inzaghi's Milan, the best attack in the league. I'm excited. How about you? It's the biggest game of the weekend and one at high risk too. Napoli-Roma. The context for this one is last season's Coppa Italia final. That was a game between Napoli and Fiorentina, but before the game, a Napoli fan, Ciro Esposito, was shot. It's alleged that a former Kappa Ultra at Roma, who hasn't frequented the Curva in years, was responsible. Esposito tragically later died of his injuries. The atmosphere is understandably tense before this game. There's fears of reprisals. Roma are flying instead of getting the train down, and then they'll stay apparently in a secret location. Let's hope we're only talking about football after this game, because it promises to be huge in the context of the title race, and obviously Napoli's hopes of qualifying for the Champions League. Roma lost at San Paolo last year, and they can't afford to slip up again now. Parma and Inter, it's a game that stirs memories of Adrian Mutu, that playoff to decide Champions League qualifications, which Roberto Baggio made his mark on in 2000. How these 2 clubs wish they could turn back the clock. Parma's plight, we discussed it in last week's show. Well, things have deteriorated even further for them in the meantime. They were beaten 3-0 by Sassuolo in the Reggio Emilia derby. It was their 7th defeat in 8 games. They're now rooted to the bottom, and unless Donadoni can figure a way of turning this around against Torino in midweek and then against Inter, it could be curtains for him. This promises to be a defining week for Fiorentina after Sunday's draw against Milan at San Siro. They then play Udinese and Sampdoria at the weekend, all of whom are rivals for those European qualification spots between 3rd and 6th. Going back to Marassi is always a sentimental occasion for Vincenzo Montella, because he played for for both Genoa and Sampdoria. Remember, in his first spell in Blu Cerchiato, he scored 53 goals in 84 games. And how Fiorentina could do with a striker like him now. Only Atalanta have scored fewer goals than Fiorentina this season. They're of course still without Giuseppe Rossi, who won't be back until 2015, but Mario Gomez could make his return this weekend against Sam. So those are my talking points. Let me know what yours are in the comments below, and if you've got any questions for me, why not add them in there too. If you haven't subscribed already yet, you can do so by clicking on the link below. Remember, there are also shows about La Liga with Andy Brassel, Liga with Julien Laurens, and the Bundesliga with Raphael Honigstein. I'll be back next week on Tuesday, wrapping up all of the weekend's action in Serie A. So why not check back with me then? Enjoy your week, and ciao for now.